Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. So here we are once again talking about this whole G2 drama situation as it continues to unfold. I know this morning I said I wasn't even sure if I was going to make one video about this topic, and here I am making my second video in a single day. But man, so much has already happened and changed even from when I posted that video this morning. There is still so much we need to talk about, and really this story took some unexpected twists and turns. So we had this from Carlos. This was like 6 hours ago. This was actually like right as I was uploading my first video. Carlos was tweeting this out, so I knew that we were probably going to need a follow up. I knew things were probably going to continue to be going on. I do hope this is probably the last time we're talking about this topic for quite some time, but there is still some stuff that could still come from this whole situation as well. But Carlos tweeted this. Many G2 fans were let down this weekend, which created confusion about what I stand for. It has always been my consistent target to stand for absolute equality of opportunity regardless of who you are or where you come from, which is what gaming is all about. Make no mistake, my life was full of learnings, and I had my fair share of situations I got into in the past. I failed to read this room right, feel terrible about the discussion it created, and will stand up and accept the consequences in full. Now, kind of crazy, kind of interesting, kind of strange for a couple of reasons. Partly because what we saw from Carlos, towards the end of last night was really singing a different tune, and this is less than 24 hours later. This is 23 hours ago. Carlos says, nobody will ever be able to police my friendships. I draw my line here. I partner with whoever the fuck I want. He still has this tweet up. This has not been deleted, and even at the time that he tweeted this out, this was actually his pinned tweet. So he goes from saying, I party with whoever the fuck I want, nobody can police me, to then 17 hours later saying, hey guys, I know a lot of you got let down this week. I'm ready to accept any consequences. Okay, well that does not sound like somebody who is drawing the line here and is going to be able to do whatever the fuck he wants. But obviously, we know what happens. We know G2 is a big company. I mean, who knows exactly how much they're worth, if they're like double-digit millions, triple-digit millions, whatever. They're a very, very big company, the bright future ahead of them. Carlos, yes, he is the top guy and the CEO, and he can act like he can do whatever he wants and yada, 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 but obviously he can't. Obviously, he has investors, he has board of advisors, he has, I'm sure board members and stuff like that. He cannot just do whatever the heck he wants. He is not the only person involved in this company or anything like that. Obviously what he was putting on last night was mostly a front, and hey, his team told him, hey, you're going to apologize. You're going to put out an apology, and there's going to be some consequences as well, which I thought was interesting because, he does end this by saying, I'm going to stand up and accept the consequences in full, and all of a sudden it's like, what consequence are you even talking about? Nothing's even going on. Nothing's even happening. And I thought this was funny. I thought this was very, very memeable. So, I made some tweets about this, as did a lot of other people. I said, hey, a real top G would not give in to his PR team and investors, which I just thought was funny because, again, Carlos last night is like, hey, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want, blah, 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 blah. And then, again, he starts singing a different tune pretty quickly after having a talking with his PR team, investors, whatever. I also said before you call your boss versus after your boss calls you, before your boss calls versus after, which I just thought was a little bit funny as well. And then I also said, Carlos really be like, I'm not that man that I was 8 hours ago. I've learned from my mistakes. And that's funny. If you dive into like the apology or whatever he put out, it doesn't really even say that he's sorry anywhere or anything like that. So I don't know, just overall really, really weird. And then this led to the statement from G2. G2 Esports tweeted out this. They said, hello, G2 Army, or hey, G2 Army. Last night, we failed you. The actions of our CEO spoke a language in stark contrast with the values and the culture G2 lives by and strives for, and for that, we apologize. So, even if Carlos is not apologizing, G2 is, which is, I do think a nice gesture. Since our creation, we have worked hard to build a safe and inclusive environment to enjoy esports. These are just small steps in the right direction we need to take as a company. We'll continue to do our best each and every day to improve ourselves and the industry at large, which I think is good. That's a good statement. After internal discussions, Carlos and our supervisory board have mutually agreed that he will take 8 weeks of leave as CEO and suspend his earnings during that time. 8 weeks of unpaid leave is coming Carlos's way. Now, this is interesting because we are now a week away from Valorant partnerships being announced. This is, the Valorant franchising system. Carlos is going to be away during this time. I'm sure this was like worst case scenario for G2 to have something like this, some crazy drama, whatever, coming out as Riot is making their decisions about what teams they want to allow into their franchising system for Valorant. And while these decisions are happening, Carlos will not be around. Also, Carlos will not be around for Worlds. Again, like 8 weeks. That takes us to mid-November. It does mean Carlos will be back in time for the League of Legends off season, which will be a very, very big thing. I'm sure he's going to have a large part in all of that. But yeah, it seems like Carlos is going to be down for the rest of the League of Legends season, and hopefully this isn't too much of a distraction for his team as they prepare for Worlds and stuff. But obviously Carlos is usually a big part of these events and everything that's going on. I don't know. I think this is good and bad. At the end of the day, I don't really think it matters that much. Obviously, Carlos is a multi-millionaire. Him taking 8 weeks off of unpaid leave, what does that even mean? He's probably just going to get to go vacation, travel somewhere crazy, do something. He's going to be okay. The 8 weeks of pay, in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to assume he's not even going to notice that. So yes, it is a publicly embarrassing thing to, be punished in this way and have to take a leave. And yeah, it sucks to not get paid. And I'm assuming he's going to, end up losing a pretty significant chunk of change. But yeah, overall, I don't really think this matters all that much. I also tweeted something out like, how funny would it be if during his 8 weeks of leave, it's just him, traveling around the world, partying with Andrew Tate or something like that. I don't know. Just a stupid joke, but it would certainly be funny. And then Carlos responded to this as well, and he said, G2 is above Carlos and always has been. I will do anything to protect this company and my colleagues in it as my unconditional duty to them. And this is pretty bullshit because it's just certainly not true. He says G2 is above Carlos and always has been, but last night, again, 17 hours ago, it absolutely was not. He put himself, his personal relationships, and his personal business ahead of G2 and in a situation involving G2. Again, the Andrew Tate tweet was like, hey, we're celebrating G2 right now, or G2's world championship or whatever, which people did not like. And then he doubled down publicly. Again, if Carlos wants to be friends with Andrew Tate, like whatever, that was never going to get him into trouble. He was never going to get in any trouble unless he posted the video himself publicly and then is also publicly like, no, I wasn't just partying with him. Like, I'm friends with him. Like, he brought so much of this upon himself. And whatever you think about Carlos, Andrew Tate, anything like that, just stupid business decisions just don't make any sense. He's obviously upset investors. He's obviously upset fans. And yes, the people who are like, hey, he should be able to be friends with whoever he wants. He should be able to party with whoever he wants, yada, yada, yada. That's fine. Yeah, he can. He can do all that stuff. But people can have an opinion about it as well. People can react about it as well. People don't have to like it. Just like Carlos can do whatever he wants, everybody else can respond how they want as well. It doesn't make sense that you can say, oh, Carlos can be friends with whoever he wants. He can do whatever he wants. But you can't feel a way about it, or you can't say something about it, or you can't, like, Carlos can do whatever he wants, but other people can't. I don't know. You start to walk a really, really weird fine line. I don't know. It is strange. But the weirdest part about this whole thing is that obviously Carlos doesn't believe any of this. You can go to social media and check his likes. Carlos giving himself an 8-week vacation after ruining the org's image. He liked this. He also liked, there's some other tweets here. Based CEO, go take that vacation, champ. This guy tweeted out, man spends the night liking pro Tate tweets, then gets told by his PR team / board, you have to tweet this. Carlos liked that. That seems like exactly what happened. Carlos also liked never apologize to the mob. He liked some, pro Andrew Tate tweets, stuff like that. So it's very clear he's not sorry. Nothing happened. Nothing changed here. It's just really weird. It's just really dumb. It's really silly that it's very insulting as well, being somebody involved in this whole situation that like Carlos would even tweet something out. But it's also funny because, again, Carlos pretended like he's going to be the boss and he's liking all these tweets about, oh, never apologize to the mob and, oh, I can party with whoever the fuck I want, blah, 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 blah. And he still tweeted out that apology. He didn't tell his PR team to go fuck themselves. He didn't tell his investors for G2 to go fuck themselves. If he was really this badass who's going to do whatever the fuck he wants and he's untouchable and he's unstoppable, well, hey, why do you got this apology tweet up? What's going on here? Why don't you stand up to him? Why don't you really show us what you believe in? Why are you liking these tweets of never apologize to the mob, blah, 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 while literally putting out a public apology and getting forced to by your team and stuff. So it's just weird. He took an L on a lot of different dimensions. Like, one, even to the people that are like, oh, W Carlos, you're a savage for doing this shit. still kind of looks like a bitch at the end of the day because he's tweeting out this apology while saying don't apologize to the mob and stuff like this. And then for the people who actually did want an apology, he also very clearly isn't sorry and clearly doesn't even believe in the things that, you know, his PR team is making him copy and paste. So to me, this just comes out as an L on a bunch of different directions, a bunch of different angles. Obviously, I get that the Andrew Tate crowd is going to say that this is not an L and you know, Carlos stays winning, or I'm a G2 fan now, or whatever the heck. But this was a big L in a lot of different ways, like pretty much almost objectively. There are people responding to this all over the League of Legends world. Obviously, K-Drill replies, you know, fuck Andrew Tate. 2% battery left, enough to say that it's a yikes evening for esports, absolute cringe fest. And if you're a misogynistic pig defending what's happening, drop a quick unfollow and fuck off. Absolute brainwashed degenerate sheep who need to grow up. Perks, he dropped the throwing up emoji on us, and then he said, my face when I see Twitter tonight. And then maybe the biggest banger of the whole thing so far is Wonder, and, you know, Wonder's Twitter account. When Wonder's tweeting, Twitter is just a better place. He said, can somebody suggest me a good ad blocker? I keep seeing this shit everywhere, and I want to get rid of it. And it's Hustler University with a nice little Carlos Andrew Tate mishmash, which is just pretty freaking hilarious at the end of the day. But that is the latest. Carlos puts out a public statement. G2 puts out a public statement. Carlos is now suspended. We'll have to see what the heck this means going forward, how this story is going to play out, because, again, whether you like it or not, a lot of people are upset. I'm sure investors and stuff were not exactly thrilled. Again, whether you think, oh, Andrew Tate's not that bad or he's really bad or whatever, this guy is banned off a lot of big platforms. A lot of people have a very, very negative outview and look of him, and a lot of people just won't want him associated with their brand or with their team or with their organization or with their business. There's no way around that. So it's just kind of a weird look overall for Carlos. Again, I don't know. Super, super weird. Hopefully we won't have to talk about this stuff again anytime soon. I'd rather talk about some freaking League of Legends, some World, some offseason stuff. We're going to get back to that, but this is a big story. Had to get this out to you today. Carlos, man down, suspended 8 weeks. Maybe a nice little vacation. Maybe a embarrassing situation publicly. I don't know. But pretty much it was this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about anything we talked about in this video today. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.